as well as, and this is the big point for me, I don't think it's that hard. Is it that hard, y'all? Tell me that in the comment section. Is it that hard to find someone who will be with you? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Hope Views. Thank you for clicking that thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be reviewing She-Hulk episode 4. I waited quite a while before actually sitting down to shoot this review. The main thought behind it, though, is that this episode is my least favorite, and I, believe it or not, don't like to come in here and slam TV shows and movies. I think She-Hulk is a good show. I think overall it's been fairly entertaining. There are some moments in each episode that I don't like, but in episode 4, I didn't like much of anything. It was the weakest episode that I've seen thus far. And there's a lot of reasons why, and I can't remember them all because I watched it and I kind of just wiped it out of my mind. It's not something that I really wanted to dwell on too much because it's such negative thoughts that I have. But let's go through the things that I can recall, because I didn't even take notes, but let's go through the things I can recall and just talk about how it just didn't hit. So we have the introduction of the parlor magician who also has a sling ring and he's doing the thing. He was, he did his job, and that scene kind of served his purpose to set up the rest of the episode. But again, you get the fourth wall break and you get Jennifer Walters, looking straight at the screen and saying like, oh, we get Wong back. Like, it's like my show has Twitter armor because Wong is on it. But to me, to a person who really looks at a show and is looking for the show to stand on its own, I don't even see the inclusion of all these cameos being a great thing or a good thing. I don't feel like the presence of Wong buys any positive will towards the show. I could be wrong about that. Maybe people love Wong and they just want to see Wong. But I know when I look at the episode, that's like, having Wong does not make it better. It does not elevate it at all to me. But again, in the comment section, let me know, am I just hating? But it didn't do much for me having a Wong-centric episode. When you move on and the episode progresses and you get to Wong making the complaint and then they're, filing a motion and going before a judge, you have the inclusion of the Madison character. I did not like the Madison character. I didn't like her introduction with the why, but you can't guess where, or it's like, that's whack. It's whack that you're doing it, and it's whack that you're continuously doing it, and it's just not funny. It's even made its way to like memeing on Twitter and other places, just like, oh man, get that lame joke out of here and quit bringing it back up. But they brought it up quite a few times, and her character was annoying, and the fact that she was there and doing the same bit got old very fast. If you move the episode along, I think the main focus of the episode to me is another part that for me I just didn't connect to, but this could be me missing it because I'm a happily married man who hasn't been on the dating scene in like 15 years. So when I look at She-Hulk and the main story was her trying to get a date, I know that they've taken steps on the show to kind of make the actress Tatiana Maslany, like they try to make her down and like bring her down and make her look quote unquote normal, but she don't look bad, bro. She really don't. I think it was the first speed date or swipe date that she went on where they were staring each other down to see who would pick up the check. Like, that was a very funny moment. I enjoyed that. But that one, the guy got up and he's like, I guess she was a 6. It's like, I don't think she's a 6. As well as I don't think anybody, well, maybe, again, I haven't been on a date or been a part of the dating world in such a long time, but I don't think nobody would get up from the table like that and call somebody a 6 while on the phone and loud enough for people to hear. Like, I just don't see that. As well as, and this is the big point for me, I don't think it's that hard. Is it that hard, y'all? Tell me that in the comment section. Is it that hard to find someone who will be with you? Tatiana Maslany, Jennifer Walters, I know that she's dressed down and, she's made to look more normal, but she don't look bad. And I think this show kind of stretched it, the whole narrative of, oh, it's hard to find somebody who's a good match. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not that hard, but hey, again, I haven't been out there looking and like over a decade. So maybe I'm just missing it. What's weird is that when she did finally meet a guy who she was attracted to and who was attracted to her in the She-Hulk form, like he was only attracted to the She-Hulk form. That's weird. And there's no other thing that I can say about it besides it's creepy. It's creepy as hell. Eventually the show gets to a point where you get an action scene where the Donnie guy gets to doing the sling ring again, and then like these creatures come through, and then She-Hulk get recruited to help. And I guess that makes sense. And it was a nice enough action scene, but I don't think action is the strong suit of this show. And I don't think that's a tough criticism. I just feel like this show shines better when it's trying to be funny. And most of the time, the comedy hits, and that's where they need to stay. But the action scene right here was, I feel like, good enough. I guess it moves the narrative along, at least to, the next step, which is, her going back and finishing off the date and then waking up the next day with awkwardness. But then the episode ends to me on a downer, and they even mention it again with the fourth wall breaks that I don't care for. They throw out the whole Titania is her name? Titana. She is suing She-Hulk because she copyrighted She-Hulk first, which is dumb. But I guess it's a way to keep the legal side of the show running. So that's happening next week. I really hope that next week's episode is it elevates back to kind of what it was in the beginning, because I feel like the first two episodes were much better than 3 and 4. And also, I do know that this episode coming up, I believe, is the Daredevil cameo episode. So that'll be cool if it lands right. And I think it will land right, except I have the feeling that it's going to be a little flirtatious between Charlie Cox's Daredevil and She-Hulk or Jennifer Walters. I don't know who is gonna flirt with who, but I think that's gonna be something present, which is, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about how Marvel is gonna rebrand Daredevil. I'm not liking the lightheartedness, but that's neither here nor there. But in the fourth wall break, they talk about, maybe the end tag is funny and, it'll lift up the episode, but it didn't. It was just, talking spoilers for The Sopranos, a show that had been over on television for years now. And it's like, I don't like it. I don't like that Madison character. It's really, and I don't know what she represents. Maybe what she represents in the world, or in the world of women, because this is a women-centric show. Maybe she represents something that is funny, or maybe something that women can connect to, but I don't see it. I don't see it, and I don't like it. So pretty down on this week's She-Hulk, but hopefully episode 5 could come out and raise the spirits and just be better. So, I was always hoping. But that's all I have to talk about She-Hulk, man. I think it's okay. This episode was not okay, and hopefully they rebound. That's all I have. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.